Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Ideally Though.
Ideally, though.
If you don't know, I'm your host Erica, and with me is my hubby, my bestie, my butterbeer squad.
Yeah. What up?
Did you guys miss us?
I know they did. I miss them. I
Last
missed you
week? I
guys.
hate taking weeks off, but we had a lot of travel and a lot of stuff we saw. There's so much stuff that happened when we came back from certain events
Yeah.
and during this week.
Yeah, it's a wild
So
week.
did you want
Blur.
to talk about like current events right now, or do you want to talk about what we did
What
last week?
what you got for current events right now?
Oh man, there's some crazy stuff going on. So the Diddy trial is still going on.
Right, still.
Did you hear about the mac and cheese?
I have not heard of Mac. This sounds very terrible. And no.
I always knew Diddy mama was a hoe.
Uh-oh.
Not a hoe, but I knew she was just a weirdo.
Uh-oh.
So it came out in court, and I don't know if I believe it was Cassie who said it, but don't quote me. But Diddy's mom likes to drizzle some of Diddy's man juice onto the mac and cheese when she makes it. I don't know if it's for family barbecues or like birthday dinners, but she has a jar of her son's man juice and she likes to drizzle it on top of the mac and cheese.
That's got to be the most disgusting thing and the weirdest thing I think I've ever heard of in my life.
I knew she
Like,
liked her son like that. I always felt like I knew this was some like ancestral kind of shit going on.
incest, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I was like, like it wasn't crazy far
Wait,
fetched.
wait, it's not okay. So
No, not for them.
uh, uh, that's new to me. Is this the
It's just
relationship has always been weird? I don't know anything about
I
Diddy
think
and
because
his mom's
I think
relationships.
because his dad used to be a drug dealer, and then he died when I think Diddy was like 2 or something like that. He
Okay.
got like shot killed.
Oh, okay.
So maybe the mom always was like attached herself to her son. I know that a lot of women tend to do that when there's not a man in the house
Yeah,
and they
single
have a
mothers,
son.
yeah. I guess that's fair.
But I just always felt there was something extra about his mom. Like she was always an old little Kim.
Interesting.
She always kind of had that look. You know how like some older women like to dress young and stuff like that.
I don't think I've ever seen her before.
Oh, you tripping? You probably seen his mom.
Maybe, but I've never really paid too much attention to Diddy other than the past shit from when he was making the band and stuff like that. Other than
Oh,
that,
the
I never
band.
really cared.
Yeah, so it came out in court that I don't know how relevant it was, but it definitely came out in court that she has a jar of his man juice
Big
and
dog.
she will drizzle it like it's garnish before she puts it in the oven.
Do you think his
It's real.
kids know about this stuff?
If they don't, they don't. They do now, and then you just have to think about all the like barbecues where grandma made mac,
That is some of the craziest,
the
nastiest
creamiest of
stuff.
mac,
Oh
the creamiest of it. Yeah,
my
she's gross.
god.
Yeah,
That's wild.
that's been going on for the last, like, I would say, week that we found this out.
That's wild. I never what?
Yeah.
Okay. Now that makes you think of how many times there's been like a you know how Diddy throws those like brunches or those parties before you get to the actual Diddy party?
Yeah. I hope it was catered.
I don't think it was.
You know what though? Honestly, he's too big to have his mom like make something for a big party. So I promise you it's probably one of those small get together family things. And that's kind of there's some psychological warfare going on with that.
It's just as equally
Like,
disgusting
like
if
she
you
loves
did
her
it to a
son.
small group or it was a mass group of people. It's just as gross, and that's craziness.
Yeah. So
Mac and cheese. Ugh. That's one of my favorite meals too. And I'm like,
yeah, now you gotta think about when you go to the family cookouts, like, do you trust the person who made the mac and cheese?
I don't usually eat mac and cheese when everybody cookout. I don't trust everybody mac and cheese now.
Yeah.
So that's wild. That's wild.
Yeah, it definitely feels like she's like, I love my son, I want everybody to love my son too.
Very Oedipus in a way.
Maybe they probably did something. She is known for her separate freak offs.
Yeah, I did see that actually. That she had her own separate freak offs,
She
which is
probably taught him how to have the freak offs, or he brung her into it, and she was like, I used to do this back in the day. You know, I don't know.
I don't now. I can't put anything past it now because of mac and cheese.
Oh
So
God, I
maybe all
just
of it's
like
true.
it's
Holy
so
fuck, dude.
gross.
That's gross. That's gross.
I remember reporting a couple weeks ago that Bailey, she had did that motion for like
The DDG situation,
yeah,
right?
sole custody
Right.
and restraining order.
Hmm.
So as of a couple of days ago, he just filed an emergency motion for like a restraining order against her, and also to stop his son from going out the country in a little bit because she's filming a movie in Italy for like 2 months. So
Interesting.
he tried to follow that motion.
Uh,
He actually also leaked some text messages from last year, I believe,
uh,
where she was saying things like he was like, "Hey, you need to come back to the house. You got my gun. They don't have a safety," and she's kind of sounding a little like suicidal.
mm.
And I feel like it just still makes him look bad. Like, do you not know that you can push a woman to a breaking point mentally? That maybe she just feels like that's the way to go. You putting these out trying to shame her is it's so like juvenile of you.
I didn't know that he actually leaked it. I
Yeah,
never
he put
saw.
him out.
I didn't see that. All I saw was the clips and stuff. Because there was another clip of her, I guess, having a knife in her hand
Yeah,
and all
there was
that.
text messages about a knife.
No, there was a video of
Oh
it
well,
that
so I'm
I
saying maybe that's connected.
maybe that is, but I mean, you were right when you say juvenile because it's. I think this is the move he is making because last last week or whatever, we had the chance, the greatest of chances of seeing him at DreamCon, and he
Oh my gosh.
fucked himself in the middle of that situation, and started an entire fight, or at least was involved in instigating it. You know what I'm saying? Um, it's a way to maybe turn the blinders off of some people and put the spotlight back on Haley.
Yeah.
That's what it seems like he's trying to clean up his act because of the fact that that fight went down, and to a degree, I gotta respect the nastiness. He is a gross nigga, and gross niggas gonna do gross nigga things.
I
You know
don't
what I'm
respect
saying?
none of
No, I'm
that
saying, you know how you say we and you have talked, before. Like I rather have my racism
up front.
up front.
Hmm.
He's been nasty this entire time up front. That
Yeah, crashing down
I've seen no,
streams.
exactly. I've seen nothing but that. So I can respect. You know what? That's your character, sir. I get it. It's disgusting though. I think that with him trying to pull the baby away from the mom and knowing that this type of situation is would affect her even more so mentally. That's a mental game on its own. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You're doing this out of spite. You're doing this out of ugliness.
It is definitely spite because when everything happened with her, she filed her restraining order and it does take time. You're just doing it now just to spite her.
It's spite
Yeah.
and to clean up his little persona that he's ruined over
Yeah.
the prior weekend or whatever. Like,
Hmm.
he's an idiot for that. That's his fault, but he don't man up on things. But we've all seen this type of stuff. There's been on the Streamer University thing that happened
Yeah.
with Kai. There's been talks about how much he paid so many different people to say that he's a good guy, that
Oh wow.
cooking with Kaya
Oh yeah,
girl and
her.
all that, like all the women it was in particular women,
Was a black woman.
mostly black women too,
Mm.
that were all basically, no, he's a really good guy, and
I hate this whole thing about, oh, he couldn't have done it because he's a great guy or he's a great. Yes, we have different layers of ourselves. You don't know that he's a shitty boyfriend that puts his hands on her when he gets upset and he has a tantrum
yeah,
because his mama didn't teach him right.
right.
You don't get that side of him because you're just a homegirl
Hmm.
or you just the side bitch.
Hmm.
Come on now, have some common sense.
Yeah,
It's dumb.
we forgive way too much and normalize too much. That's not behavior you should have.
Yeah.
It's just not behavior you should have, especially you got a son. Be the best example for him.
So, I mean, once a couple of days ago, when he filed that emergency restraining order, as of yesterday, the judge denied it. So
Good.
everybody who was ready to say something like, "Oh, see, boo, blah," the judge said, "Oh no,
Good.
goddamn restraining order."
Rightfully so. Rightfully so. I think that in due time he's going to learn his lesson, and he's going to understand that you got to treat people a certain way. You can't, be physical. We're in a different era now. Things were okay back in the day, and you can't do those things anymore, and we need to accept that as society and progress, because that's the only way you get progression. And
Yeah.
he's got to change internally. I've seen nothing but him crash out on stream, say nasty stuff about women, be real corny throughout every move he's made in their relationship, from having the baby on stream earlier on when we talked about it
Mhm.
last year or whatever. It's like, big dog, give up the games. Stop playing psychological games with this woman. let her be a mom, let her do her thing. You already got what little success you have, and you've been like basically digging a pit because of it. Maybe try to shovel your way out.
And in most cases, and I'm saying most cases, you can attract more flies with honey
Yeah.
or bees with honey, because if you let her, like, be nice to her, because she has a lot on her plate, postpartum, having a baby, filming, singing, she has a lot going on besides like you doing your little stream thing.
Yeah.
So be nice to her, and I promise you'll get what you need as a father, get what you want.
Yeah.
You'll get your time. But she obviously doesn't trust you. I mean, the mom tried to say, and I think DDG tried to say, oh, she put like air tags on, I think the diaper bag or something like that,
Why
and
wouldn't you?
rightfully so. What are y'all? You're not even making sense. I don't trust you, my nigga.
Why wouldn't you?
Right?
But not
Where
even
you have my
that. Just sounds
baby?
like a practical thing in my head too.
You
If
ain't
I,
giving me your location.
you
I need to
know,
know.
I need. What if you lose the
You don't
diaper bag?
communicate with
You
me.
know what's going on.
Yeah.
That's yeah. It's all immature, and
You have my baby on stream, on
so
live
much of this
stream.
stuff doesn't need to even be public. To be
Yeah, but
honest,
it's public, so, and then they get mad. People like him get mad, but you put it out there, so we have no choice but to
leaking
talk
stuff is
about
bitch
it.
shit.
Yeah,
Leaking stuff is
or just putting it out
purely
there.
bitch
Yeah.
shit. Absolutely.
I know that I believe yesterday that Holly did say to the judge that it is exaggerated, and her since then treated mental health. She's always expressed that she had anxiety and depression and thoughts of suicide.
It's a
She's always been
fucking
vocal about
Disney
that.
Beyonce kid, dude.
Yeah,
Like what?
and she said she's totally capable of taking care of her son. So she had to make that
Clearly,
clear. Yeah. She
doesn't
ain't
it
gonna be
suck
silent for
like
something
as a
like that.
mom to have to clarify that? And it's like not for like legality reasons, to be honest, because she's clear from doctors and all this. She's done the work.
Hmm.
It's for the court of public opinion. That
Oh
shit's
yeah, that sucks.
gross. Yeah, I hate having to actually appeal to that type of shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Stupid. Yeah, leaking the shit was
Yeah.
bitch shit.
Speaking of bitches, there's two boyfriends who've been fighting in the last like 48 hours.
Oh, you're talking about my two favorite boyfriends, the greatest couple in the world.
Trump and Elon. They've been going
Yeah.
back and forth. Like, what's the
Yeah.
problem? What's the you guys need breakup advice? What's good, what's hood? So we've seen that like Elon has been tweeting, and he was like,
Heavy.
"Hey, you guys, there's a big bomb being dropped. Trump's in the Epstein files. Mark this tweet or whatever
Mm-hmm.
because it is,
Mm-hmm.
for the future.
Mm-hmm.
We need receipts, baby boy. We need receipts.
I like
You
him
talking all that
saying
shit? Twitter fingers at its best.
I like him saying that the big beautiful bill, the BBB,
Hmm.
is one of the most disgusting and awful pig pork filled bills ever. And him saying that Trump would not have the presidency without
Oh, him,
him
yeah. He's like
is
ingracious.
such a crazy move.
What happened, baby girl?
uh
What
I,
he do?
so
He
like
fired you?
so we had the time where Doge was going in and making just full blown cuts on things,
Hmm.
like full blown open cuts on things, and um, it promised to get rid of, I think it was at least 1 billion at first, 1 billion uh dollars worth of fraud, abuse, and all that other shit
Hmm.
across the government, and it ended up only cutting stuff and making stuff worse and cutting programs. They found some bits where, granted, you know what?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it makes
maybe some
sense.
stuff can be updated, and they're right about a bunch of things that can be updated. The thing being is where we put these types of money. He cut important programs which cost us a lot more, and we have a higher deficit as a country because of it.
Hmm.
So those was supposed to last for the year.
That shit gone.
Not the department isn't technically gone, I don't think, but the department, I say in quotes, excuse me,
There's one guy in the damn office in the by the water cooler.
in the
It's a
basement.
made up fucking department. Made
he
up of one person.
Instead it lasted only 180, 130 days. And with the changes that they made, there's a bunch of recovery, like damage control happening within the Trump administration right now. A
A
bunch
lot.
of it. Elon got kicked out, basically a dismissal. They gave him a golden key,
Get your
basically
golden
saying
key.
like you can come back whenever you want. It very showy for the media.
But then change the locks after you give him the golden key. That shit don't go nowhere but Willy
He
Wonka's
didn't accept the
chocolate
key,
factory.
which was interesting to me. Elon didn't
I
accept the
wouldn't
key,
either.
and they barely even like shook hands and things.
Yeah,
Like it felt very forced and rushed. I like the
they was in their
fact
feelings.
that Trump made some comments about Elon and saying that like he did a great job, but we're gonna do a better one. Like it's
Oh my
so
gosh,
nitpicky and passive
you guys are
aggressive between
so
these two
annoying.
grown men.
We have enough going on. You should have never hired him. And then
Yeah,
Elon has to go back into Tesla and work overtime. I'm sleeping back in my office. Yeah, because you need to be doing this. You shouldn't be in the White House.
and
What the
people
fuck are
are
you
trying to
talking
get you
about?
off of the board on a
Yeah,
ton of your own companies.
I
I
like
think
that.
what's really interesting is with him, admonishing this bill.
Mhm.
um there's been an eruption in that administration. They've been like, we're getting on the phone with Elon. There's a bunch of phone calls and stuff being made. They're trying to clean up stuff on uh on different media sectors now
Mhm.
and get on camera face to face. Now there a bunch of it proved that a bunch of the Republicans knew what was in it or didn't read anything in it and just voted because they wanted to stand on the Trump side of things.
Yeah.
There was what was interesting is there is a spot inside of the bill that basically says states for the next decade cannot have cannot make legislative rule or law over AI for the next decade. So
Okay.
it would be just a free for all for any type of AI product and any type of AI thing, right?
Mm.
And a bunch of Republicans were like, oh, I didn't know that was in the bill. Your job is supposed to read
Yeah,
these
you don't read
things.
this shit. Y'all
Yeah,
just be like, accept terms and conditions.
exactly. Exactly
Now
that.
your life is gone.
That's
Y'all seen Black
fucking
Mirror?
genius.
Last season of Black Mirror? That's that
Exactly.
shit.
Exactly. And so it just proves that all this stuff that is happening on on the TVs or on your fucking phones, everything about them saying everything is fine, a lot of this stuff about the stock market and all this bullshit, it proves that they don't know what the fuck they're doing. And this spat proves that nobody knows what the fuck they're doing right now. It's craziness to me. It's
Oh
craziness
my
to me.
goodness.
But you know what? Let them keep fighting because now it's going to show more people. Because Elon's got a lot of supporters. Again,
Hmm.
he wouldn't have got in there without, Trump would have got in there without Elon.
Yeah.
It's going to show a lot more people that they've done the wrong thing, that they chose
I've
the
never
wrong thing.
seen, like, I always see the Republicans standing 10 toes down.
Hmm.
This is the first time in a while where I've seen them like, oh, I don't know what the fuck he doing. I don't know what the, damn, I shouldn't have voted for him, blah, blah, blah. That's the first time I'm seeing that.
Yeah.
Now, I do want to say this, and you guys can fucking eat me up all y'all want to, but I have to say that Trump has been doing his pardons, right? A lot of them have been horrible. But
Oh
I'm gonna say
God.
this:
Here we
I'm a
go.
big Todd Chrisley fan, so I was excited for Todd Chrisley to get out. He reminded me of your aunt in Georgia,
Jesus
with the
Christ.
money. I was so excited for Todd Chrisley to get out. Now I do want to say this, Savannah. Ever since Todd got out, she didn't took off that damn hat, that Make America Great hat off. Yeah, take that bitch off. I don't know if this was for you to try to get your dad out sooner. I hope that was it and it worked.
Mm,
But he did have a press conference when he got out, and he talked about the injustice with Black and Brown people in jail.
mm.
And I mean, a part of me feels like on a privileged side, it was maybe him saying it because he got a boyfriend in there. And he tried to he tried to do some prison reform.
I need to
Um,
save him.
because in jail is there's a lot of politics and a lot of you
Yeah.
stick with your own. So I was thinking that Todd was probably with the Aryan Nation, doing some knitting and stuff over there,
Knitting.
and he wasn't really messing with the Black and brown people. But I'm making a joke out of it, but it was right for him to speak up about it
That's
because
right.
I mean, definitely try to use your privilege to kind of shine a light. You and the Kim Kardashians, the world need to shine a light, even though y'all don't really go through much.
Yeah.
That there is a lot of injustice,
Yeah.
abuse in jail, and they're not offering enough programs to the Black and brown people,
Hmm.
men in jail.
Hmm.
But I was really excited to see Todd Chrisley out of jail.
I
I was
hate
like,
how
I was
excited.
like, he looked the same. I was like, ain't nothing happened, huh? You just had a
I hate
grand
how
time.
excited and happy you
He was.
are.
I was like, ooh, I can't wait. And they got the new TV show coming out, so they probably filmed him getting
You
right out the
wildin'.
jail, just like they did Gypsy Rose ass. So I'm excited for it. I don't agree with Savannah politically. I don't know what she stands for, but he definitely made it. He's I don't care. He definitely made a point to say he doesn't care if you're Republican, Democrat. Because when you need help and you're in the hospital, I just want the best person who can do the
Do the
job.
job.
And
Yeah,
I think that was kind of a little bit towards his daughter. Like, girl, take that fucking hat off.
that's fair.
Cause I don't know if he's raised her like that, and even I don't know, it don't show it.
Right.
And I fuck with Todd Chrisley.
Well, you know what?
So I was excited for him to get out.
Good for you, big dog. Good for you.
Another wholesome thing I did see before we get into like our rendezvous for the last week. I saw that CEO of TDE. He took his $99 flight from Los Angeles to Vegas instead of doing, I think it was a 10K or a 40K private jet.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
More people need to do that. We've had like Kylie Jenner who just takes 30-minute flights places. It's like, yeah, fuck our fucking the pollution
Yeah.
already in California and on Earth,
Yeah.
and global warming.
Hmm.
You guys are lazy as fuck. You don't want to sit in traffic, but it's nice to see that people are being a little more frugal with their money, practical, and everybody know in the air it takes them but 45 minutes to an hour to get to Vegas from LA.
Yeah.
So why not do a 99 Southwest flight instead of a private jet? For what? What's the private jet for? You gonna be on the plane for 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Get your little ginger ale and your snacks. Because I'm gonna talk about that experience in a little bit with Southwest. But get your little, ginger ale, buy your little $9 alcohol and relax for 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Listen to some sample music that you're supposed to be trying to approve and get on with it. So I really like that. It was nice to see someone being responsible.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I agree. I've ever since like we found out that Kylie does like 30-minute
It was so
plane rides.
stupid.
I've always been like, God, I fucking hate people. So that's cool to me. And
Yeah.
also, you got a business to run. Why not?
You know what else? Just speaking about
frugal.
flights, even like Kobe Bryant, God rest his soul, but like him taking his daughter to like a game that was still in California. It's one of those things where he's like, it just maybe would have been better just to get a black car and
yeah.
just go, you know.
Yeah.
And recently there's been rumors that Vanessa Bryant was pregnant.
I think she confirmed that she wasn't.
She's
right?
not, but this is the thing. Even if she was, I have two sides to this. Even if she was, the man's been dead for 5 years. So, excuse me, could she not move on?
Okay.
Because if it was a man, y'all wouldn't even blink twice if he got a woman pregnant and moved on. I didn't see some people seen their wife die, and after a year they ready to move on. They got a whole girlfriend on Facebook. Clock that T. But also we love Black Mamba, right? But was he not hunching bitches back in the day and had whole court cases? So honestly, like, who gives a fuck if she got pregnant? Honestly, I would have got my get back when he was still alive, if I'm being honest. But like y'all quick to like, oh, I know he's the black man. I know he's like one of the greatest players of all time. But she can't move on, and even if he was still alive, if I needed to hunch on somebody because you cheated, okay. I'm just saying, like I don't get why she can't move on, but if it was a man, he could move on, and no one would say anything if he got a woman pregnant.
I understand why people were upset. I think that
there's this glorified.
They're fanatical.
Yeah,
and it's
I think
not
that's what it is.
Good thing. You know what I mean? You're a fanatical person.
Don't move on. Just be single and miserable
like,
for the rest of your life.
Supposed to become a nun,
right?
Or Mahatma Gandhi?
Yeah,
or some
she's
shit?
like what, late 30s, early 40s.
She should be allowed to move past as much as she can hold all types. He got his kids. That's legacy there already.
Yeah,
there. You know what I mean? The legacy is still going on. The Lakers have not gone and disbanded as a team. Like, you can still be a fan of all that and Kobe's legacy. Let her live her life, because that was Kobe's legacy.
Personal business now.
You know what I'm saying? That's exactly. It's Kobe's legacy. This is more personal to her. You're right, I guess, in a way of saying. I think I'm more of the latter side of the 1% in the matter, because I usually would give a dude. I would give a dude bullshit if he did the same move, because in all honesty, that feels as if you weren't attached to your girl. She was dead for a year and you went to go do the same thing.
But it's been 5. So when do you say it's time to like?
Yeah, I get it. And so when when you say that most men are kind of, yeah, I get why. They're fanatics. They think about Kobe. You know, they're sports. Those types of niggas. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? They're not really worried about a woman
Stay out that
who's
lady vagina.
also, got all this other stuff to run and a personal
I
life.
lost my husband and my daughter.
You know what I'm
Like, stop
saying?
it. Yeah.
Like, yeah, move past. Stop the parasocial relationships with people drive me up like a
Yeah,
wall,
they feel
bro.
like they have a right to like say something about someone's personal.
Yeah.
Go. What happened when he was cheating? I'm just saying.
I'm not even I'm not even one of those to even look back
I do.
on Kobe's because again, you can rebuild your legacy. He moved there. You
Yeah,
can
she obviously forgave
do
him,
something
and
exactly and rebuild, and the legacy hasn't been tarnished since. People can dig. That's what people are doing now with cancel culture, right?
yeah,
People could dig and shit, but I won't allow that to be the deciding factor on why she would have a reason to move on. She's a natural human being. It's
yeah.
over time things become less missed.
Hmm.
That's it. And maybe
And
she wants a relationship with something. If she did,
how do you know about personal conversations people have prior to death? Hey, babe, if you die, what do you feel like is the best time to move on? Because some
right?
people honor that, or they mourn a little bit longer,
Yeah,
and but
everything
she
takes time.
obviously cleared up the rumors and was like, I'm gonna be single this summer. Yeah, like don't worry about that lady vagina. Y'all
Let her
so
do.
dumbass. It's all number men,
Yeah, the
dumbasses.
parasocial shit and the policing of people from the internet of all fucking places, like the court of the public opinion, truly does matter. No, it's all stupid. It's all
Yeah, it's
stupid.
dumb.
Yeah,
Well, I do want to talk about, we went to the SZA and Kendrick concert, then we went to
correct.
DreamCon in
Yes.
Houston. So the first thing we did do 2 days prior to going to Houston, I don't know what my mind was, but I wanted to fit in the Kendrick concert. And he was coming to Vegas, but it was going to be the time that we were going to be in Houston for DreamCon. So I was like, I need to see Kendrick. I ain't been to a rap concert, which I guess it's blended because you have SZA and she's R&B, but I was like, I want to see a Kendrick concert.
Right.
So I had to choose between Inglewood or going to Arizona, going to Glendale, Arizona.
Hmm.
So I was like, okay, well, I've been to California many times. I got family there. Let's see what Arizona talking about because I had never been to Arizona.
Right.
And we neighbors were Arizona. So we took the drive to Arizona, which was a great drive. Oh
Yeah.
my
It
gosh.
wasn't long. It
Yeah, it
was
was a great drive,
about four
about
and a half
five,
hours.
yeah, almost 5 hours.
Yeah, something like
And, just listening to some Joe Budden podcasts.
that.
We
Yeah.
listen to him. And
Thanks for putting up with that.
oh my goodness. You can listen to my podcast. When you guys are driving, when you're flying, you can listen to the Ideally Though pod, but whatever.
Please
But
do. Please
but yeah,
do.
we listened to Joe, and then so it was a nice drive there, and we got to the hotel. We went to Phoenix, and we were there for a couple hours, and then we took our drive over to State Farm Stadium.
Yes.
And how do you feel about the arena?
All right. That had to be one of the loudest experiences walking into.
Oh yeah, I've never been in an arena. I don't think so.
Walking into it, it's like,
Or at least
holy
that
shit, this
something
is
like that.
loud. And I mean, because truth be told, before even getting to the actual arena itself, traffic was
Shitty.
absolutely unfathomable how terrible that was.
Yeah.
It was awful.
Coming out it wasn't, but like going,
Yeah,
oh my
going
gosh.
to it was wild. But then I get it because once you get to the stadium itself, it's like, oh, I could hear the crowd
Hmm.
reciting shit and singing along with the
Yeah. Yeah,
openers
because
and
they
stuff.
have DJ Mustard as the opening, like
Yeah,
doing DJ. Yeah.
he had his own set,
Hmm.
and you could hear it. And we were on the far side of like the parking
Right,
lot.
trying to walk to the damn stadium, because they got the parking so far away.
Yeah,
But once we got in there, we had floor seats, and there was no one in front of us, so we were in the front row of our section.
yeah.
Um, I
Which it
don't
was
feel like
pretty
we were
close to the
far away.
stage.
Yeah, we
It
weren't
wasn't
far
that
away
close.
from the stage.
Not at
We
all.
had really nice seats.
You really good
And you guys
seats.
should probably see the videos, like probably down here
That's right.
to the side, wherever we have them.
Yeah.
And I would say this concert, I never give concerts a 10 out of 10,
Yeah.
because I always feel like there's room for improvement.
Yeah.
But this concert was a 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
If they did it separate together, each of them, SZA and Kendrick, 10 out of 10 with their performances, and they were very blended. So you got like 3 songs with him, then you got 3 songs with her, then they
Right.
did something together. Then it was like a great set. Like
Yeah.
their set was great.
Absolutely. it was really really fun, full of energy. I
Oh
don't
yeah.
think
Mm.
I don't think it was like any true sit down moments.
I sat down a little bit with Scissor, just a little bit,
Yeah, I mean
because I'm not
maybe
so familiar with so much like certain songs. I know a
maybe
lot of Scissor
that.
songs, but
I think it was one time actually that there was like a sit down moment, and that was like when she did her little fairy thing. It was like
oh,
flying across the
it was
stage and
really
stuff. Because
cute.
that was something you had to just marvel. You don't need to like
Yeah.
stand it. You know what I mean? That was really cool. But I mean, truth be told, that was some different type of energy. Most rap shows, because I've been to a few. I've been to a few. I've seen Lil Wayne. I've seen Lupe Fiasco, which was fucking awesome, and I didn't think energy could get that crazy.
Hmm.
That was crazy. Water balls in the crowd, everybody's slinging them together. He's doing it too. It was crazy. The whole stage and the floor was wet. And I'm thinking like, these things are gonna be cool uh if compared to Lupe. Lupe puts on a great show. This show was
Kendrick was so
crazy.
good. I had to
Kendrick was
shake
dope.
my ass, you guys. And
Yeah.
the song was coming on.
Yeah, that was
The
fun.
whole GNX album, like
That
that shit
album
was
is
fire. He
I
did old
didn't
songs too.
it's a stadium banger. That whole album is a stadium banger. And then we got classics. He did a section for his day ones,
Yeah,
and that was a portion where my boys would say I scream like a girl, like
that's what
because
he
I
was screaming
did,
like a bitch.
I did. I was like, yeah, because I'm a
I'm a
day
day
one Kendrick.
one.
I'm a day one Kendrick
And he
fan.
was like, Greg, shut your ass up. No.
Like
No, he did do, yeah. He did
money
yeah,
trees,
first album shit,
swimming
mix
pools.
mixtape.
It was so dope. Oh,
The
I
whole
had
thing
such a good
was
time.
great. I was sitting next to some, y'all could tell the people I'm sitting next to are a little bit younger,
Hmm.
but there was like certain people who knew a lot of it, but
Yeah,
I
I
knew I
mean,
was a little bit older than them. So
yeah,
I was ready to shake my ass and
I
dance and stuff. And I was like, let me itch a little bit close, like further up, because I want to be able to dance a
yeah,
little
that was
bit.
fun. I rapped every lyric, of course, and then the people next to me were older.
They were older. It
They
was
were
like a black
older
guy
than
and an Asian
us.
woman.
Yeah, they were older than us, and they really did. They just clapped and kind of two stepped, and that
I
was
don't
nice.
like that when it comes to like those type of concerts. You really have to like,
Move
yeah.
or something, or have the good rapper hands, because nigga, I was out there. That
Me
shit, that
too.
shit was so much fun. Yeah,
Yeah.
Kendrick sounds exactly like his albums,
Mm-hmm.
and I
Scissors is
don't understand
ooh.
what people were talking about when it comes to SZA's mic, even with as many issues with her audio she did have, because she kept taking out her
Yeah.
ear. Like
Her
she
mic was
sings
on.
exactly
Yep.
like her out, and her mic was completely on.
Yeah, it was on.
Wow.
The only problem I have to say, because this is why I always have the worst luck, where I'll do a concert and then I'll be like, oh, I was gonna do it in this city, but
Mm.
I had to do it this. They had Doja Cat in Vegas.
I don't
She
care.
brung out Doja Cat.
All right.
And in LA, she brung out Justin Bieber. I was like, dang, ain't nobody got brung out here. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know what y'all got
I
going
don't
on in
need nobody
Arizona.
extra. It was an intimate
I
setting
did,
with
shoot. I want to
SZA
see a
and
little
Kendrick,
extra.
and that was awesome. That's all I needed.
I could have seen Doja Cat.
Of course, you
I
could have
could have
seen
seen Justin Bieber,
Doja Cat. Who
you know,
cares?
falling out with SZA and stuff, like, you know, because he just don't care
Yeah,
about
he
his
did
life.
have that moment.
But
He was hypnotized.
I was like, oh, I forgot anybody really in Arizona. I mean, shout out to Arizona people. But I mean, y'all
Beautiful
diabolical
state.
too. I'm gonna say this: y'all Arizona people are diabolical. I didn't see so much leather in my life, and it's how hot it is in Arizona.
Yeah,
And I'm from Vegas.
what was that about?
Yeah, I'm from Vegas, and I'm like, ooh, it's hot.
They had a ton of leather
And
on.
y'all had a lot of leather, men and women alike.
Maybe it's like a cowboy chaps thing.
There was no ass out, but also this is my thing, and everybody to each his own. But at concerts, I always think that you should dress your best. I've been seeing some people in sweats, and I'm just like, like you don't want to dress up for Kendrick and SZA.
No,
Like, what if they come to the crowd? Like,
no.
they got the camera on you.
I think what the traditional thing
No,
is
you
if it's
should
a
be looking your
stadium,
best.
you dress, you be comfortable because it's a stadium. But if it's a more intimate, like theater
No,
setting and shit like that, that's where you
you
get
never
to.
know who you gonna meet. Mamas always used to say that.
Nah,
You go outside, you never know who you gonna see.
because you look at old like you can look at like concerts from the '90s and shit. Nobody either you
That
were
was how they
wearing,
dressed,
but I'm
though.
saying you only had like either the merch from the fucking concert you were at or something like pertaining to
Or
that,
when
or
I
you
think
have
about the
regular ass
'90s,
clothes.
you're not gonna tell me that I had to dress like Hootie and the Blowfish. Like, I'm not having
Nigga
no
got
Seattle look going on at it. No,
yeah with the
nah, fuck
flannel
that.
shirt and the
No,
tank
I'm not
top.
doing that. Absolutely not. Big baggy Jinko shorts.
But
But
I mean, most of the time, no more. more intimate settings are the ones where you have
Mm-mm.
to dress up
As
at.
ladies,
Mostly.
we know we dress all the time. At least my cute ladies, we like to dress anywhere we go,
Oh,
nice.
as opposed
But
to
I
the
saw,
ugly ones.
I'm just saying, all women are everybody beautiful. But I did
Just clean it up.
I did see I did see some people. I was like, what is you wearing? Like, how dare you disrespect Kendrick like this? Oh,
That's
ugly
hilarious.
ass.
That's funny.
But no, overall, I'm gonna say it's a 10 out of 10. I'm not being biased because I mean, I don't know. Maybe I am. I don't know. But
No,
I seen a lot of concerts in my day, and that one was 10 out of
the
10.
energy was different.
The energy was up the fuck out the fucking roof.
Yeah,
So anybody who went to Vegas, how y'all feel about it? Because I miss Vegas, and I'm of course I want to see Kendrick in my hometown.
that'd have been great.
But fuck, it was like such a constricting schedule for us
Yeah,
that I was like, I'm gonna see him. I just gotta figure out am I going to Inglewood or am I going to Glendale?
it worked
So
out fine either way it goes.
yeah.
Because our next venture ended up being Houston, Texas.
Yeah, like a day later,
Yeah.
we got home. We had one day, and then the next day we were taking a flight to Houston.
Yes.
I've never been to Houston, never been to Texas before. Wasn't sure how the humidity was going to be, but we got there on a Thursday right before DreamCon, and it was a little humid, but it wasn't too bad.
Look, it was humid because it's a humid state anyway, so you can't say it wasn't like not.
It
was
wasn't
humid,
that-
but it wasn't bad at all.
It wasn't that bad because I just came back 2 weeks ago from the DR,
Yeah.
and that was suffocating. I'm
Yeah.
using that word, like.
Yeah.
You know,
you said it was a lot thicker out
yeah,
there.
very thick.
Yeah.
So I've been all over the place in the last 3 weeks.
Yeah.
But yeah, we end up going right after Arizona to Houston. Houston is a nice city. I mean, it's really beautiful.
Yeah, we stayed downtown.
We were downtown. We
honestly
next to the
gave New
convention
York
center.
and the Las Vegas-y vibes.
Oh yeah, definitely gave New York City. Like
Yeah.
I definitely wanted to be like Mary Tyler Moore and throw my hat up in the air.
Oh,
You know
and
what I'm saying?
freeze at the same time.
Yeah, like. But it was very nice. I liked where we were at place because
Yeah.
we were 10 minutes from the convention.
Yeah.
I've been to a con last year. It was my first time. And we were thinking about going to the San Diego Comic Con this year. But you had suggested, let's just do DreamCon because it's like really black based and we have a lot of black influencers.
The convention basically
And
created
it's
by
smaller,
RDC
too.
World.
Yeah. And we got there. Now, when you talk about Friday getting your badges, the problem I had with them
This
is
day
that
one.
it was very unorganized. There was no real signage about
any
where
form
you're
of
going to
signage.
go get your badges. Like we have the email saying, go to the second floor. Everybody following the rules. And then they're like, oh no, go here. I don't know why y'all over here. Y'all need to go and do this. I was
Yeah.
just like, if y'all don't get y'all shit together, I'm about to go off.
It happened that we moved at the right exact time because if we would have been like 5 to 10 minutes later, after they figured out the supposed line that we had to work ourselves
we were
through
pretty up
and
there,
sneak through, it took, I'd say, about 30 to 45 minutes to get our badge initially.
Yeah, I would say altogether was like an hour and a half of us being there, 2 hours being there the first day. We didn't stay for crazy amounts of time. We were there for like 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
But like first day, it wasn't really much going on. At least for we didn't go a lot of places, but it just seemed like there wasn't a lot of setup.
Mm.
I haven't said that for the first day, but like you said, we got there at the right time. I think we got there around 11 something.
Whatever time we got there to get the badges was the right time because shortly after that, that line wrapped around the block a few ways. To put it in perspective, when we got to the convention, no traffic was blocked whatsoever.
Yeah, and we were inside the hotel that was next door to the convention.
Yes.
But when we got done and we were actually done with our day one, they weren't letting them in the hotel and they were outside around the corner.
Outside around the corner. It went for a block.
And I heard it went for a long time, 2 hours.
It was hours. It was hours. People said they stayed in line for 2.5 hours for their actual badge to get in. So you can imagine missing out on like a day.
Yeah.
If you were basically most of the day, if you're staying in line that long, depending on when you got into the.
And the thing is, you got to think about the people. Like also in the morning it was raining.
Yes.
So then you get the humidity from the rain that stopped. But the first day we did get to sit in on the welcome ceremony. So we did see RDC World.
Yeah.
Cleo Thompson.
Yeah, Thomas.
Shout out Thomas.
You always say Thompson.
I'm sorry, Cleo Thomas. You know my nigga Zero from Hoes. You know what I'm saying?
There we go.
And so that was nice. And you know me, like once RDC World left, people started leaving. but they had more going on. They had games, so I just kept inching us closer and closer and
Yeah.
closer to the
I
stage.
hope I hope
Oh my
that's what's
gosh,
playing right now. I'll try to put
it
it in
was literally
sequence.
like back. All you see is like the
The little
projection
like
jumbo screen,
jumbotron thing,
and
and
then
then
I'm like, okay, I'm a little further back, and then like I'm like third row. I
yeah,
could have went further up. I was like, let's not be greedy with
that was
with this,
wild.
but I've been loved Cleo for
Yeah,
so long, so it was so nice to see him in person.
yeah,
So that was our day one, and then
yeah.
we went to just go get some food and
There was some
went
pretty
back
cool
to the
restaurants around
hotel.
in Houston that was really fun to see.
Yeah, the
They feel
underground hall.
very like small mini food courts at the in like the bottom of these like buildings.
Yeah,
They're really dope. Downtown Houston was really cool and I enjoyed the food. Second day ended up
that
being
was
a lot more
a
of
lot
a
more stuff
like
going on.
con feel.
Yeah, and I dressed up as Tina Blanchard from Bob's Burgers.
Yeah.
So I wasn't sure if I was gonna get noticed because I like to be very detailed. So I did buy a wig, but I had braids, and I was like, "Bitch, are you fucking dumb? Like, you know, you can't fit that all that shit underneath that wig." So I was like, "I guess I'm about to be a black Tina." So let's
Yeah.
see how this go. And I did get noticed
Yeah, a bunch
a
of
couple
times.
times.
Yeah, it was a bunch of times. It was nice.
Yeah,
Yeah, you didn't
and
think
I had to
so. It
do
was,
my like Tina dance.
yeah.
So but yeah, day two, which was Saturday, that was a lot more going on. We were able to really navigate what we were going to do. So the night before, you got really organized. You were like, hey, what
Because
are we going to
a
do?
lot of it
Like,
wasn't truly
yeah.
as
So we had to
organized.
kind of make our own attendance, our own little guide to what we were going to do, certain hours and things like that. So
Yeah.
we did see a couple of panels.
Yeah, there was a Black and Gaming panel that was really
That was really
interesting.
good.
And I learned a bunch from that as far as, video game design, being black and wanting to create video games, the
Hmm.
avenues you could take and things. And a lot of it I knew, but then a lot of it wasn't me just learning. It was about me being confirmed in what I already knew.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so that felt good because I'm on the right track in my head.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
That was dope.
The problem I had though is that we had major people coming day two, and they either canceled or got there late.
I got beef
So
for you. I am Dante.
Dante, like I don't know if it was you or them, so I don't know who to point the fingers. But we were going to see Dante.
Yeah.
I am Dante's panel, and it got canceled. I was like, are you kidding me?
Right.
Fuck. And then Meg The Stallion, we were going to stay for Meg The Stallion. Girl, you late too?
Yeah.
So she did come, but she came late. And that's the thing I noticed about celebrities when it comes to cons. Y'all trying to come later because you know the foot traffic is less.
Yeah.
Because people been there since 9, 10 o'clock. So
Yeah.
by the time it's 5, 6 o'clock, people are like, okay, let's turn
I'm
it in.
tired. Yeah,
Yeah,
turn it
because
in.
cons are from 10 to 10 usually.
Yeah.
So people are winding down those last couple of hours. So I know what you were doing
Yeah.
when you did that. But
Yeah.
she did show up, which we didn't see, but she did play Sims live.
We saw
So
all
I
about
mean,
the
we saw those things online, but it
online,
would have
yeah.
been nice to see her in person.
I mean, yeah, that would have been great,
Yeah.
but I mean, I didn't feel like I lacked or missed out on anything, other than knowing that like they have weird ways of RSVPing things in
Oh, I
DreamCon.
hate
That
that.
stuff needs to be
Their app
worked.
sucks.
That app is
The app is
god
trash.
awful.
I hate when people bring in a lot of sponsors and a lot of money,
Yeah,
and this goes for DreamCon and it goes for like apps like Zeus.
yeah.
Why do y'all not put money into the app? People are using it constantly to
Yeah,
get
and
around.
there's certain things and features and stuff like in the apps and in whatever like Zeus is the
Yeah.
streaming stuff that are universal. Like we've had
Yeah.
this standard
Don't
for
like cut
years. Why
off.
doesn't the app do that
Yeah,
already?
the standard.
The standard shit.
And the thing too was like you said, the RSVP, you have to go to a different app, but you have to look it up in the app store. It was
Yeah, it was
ridiculous.
a different app, and then you had to also use a website to also
It
confirm
was
for the
so
second
dumb.
app, and then you would be able to RSVP for whatever you had on the third DreamCon app.
And I wanted to see the celebrity dodgeball game because that's what kind of drew me to DreamCon 2 years ago. Because
Yeah,
then Kaya was there and Corey
right.
Extension was there, so I was like, "Ooh, maybe we can go to that." But that was all booked up. But they ended up having a community dodgeball
Which
game,
was
and
just as
that was
fun.
just as good. Like anybody who missed the celebrity and just say, "You know what, fuck it, I'm going back to my hotel," you missed out on the community dodgeball game.
Yeah,
That shit was fire as hell.
that was lit.
Thank God for like just all the commentaries from the audience. Like
Yeah,
it was real black up in
it
there.
felt like a Showtime at the Apollo.
Oh my god. So you got teams going against each other and people feeling like the referees are not being like
They're not doing their job.
They're not doing their job.
Yeah, not like a typical referee.
And then like there was one girl that was a referee, but she really like legit wasn't doing anything. And they were like, "Why are you not doing your job?" They actually put her on the spot. Like the host put her on the spot, and she's like, "I don't know the rules of dodgeball." And everybody was like, "Oh, yeah!" Like everybody, like as a unit, just like could have put their hands
the
up.
whole area, the whole arena or whatever we were in.
Yeah,
all in unison. Was
we were like,
amazing.
"Oh, are you kidding me?" Yeah, it was so nice. And you know, black people like we don't know your name, so we go by your description of what we see on your body.
Yeah.
So there was a guy who had jeans on, and everybody started calling him Big Jeans. Like, get Big Jeans out of the game. Get him out of the game. I was like, that's just like us. We don't know you, but we gonna call you by whatever.
Some dude got on the mic and was like, "Why are you playing dodgeball in jeans?"
He was like, "This is all I got." I was like, "Oh my god, leave him alone."
It was so good.
Or somebody was like, "Get the big one out of here." It's like we don't know your name, so we're gonna go by the most, obvious thing about you.
That was amazing.
They was calling him Big Jeans. So shout out to Big Jeans.
Yeah, shout out.
That made my night because we missed Meg Thee Stallion, we missed Dante. So the community and not able to get into the celebrity dodgeball game. The community dodgeball game was
so much
great.
better.
And we kind of stuck. We were there earlier to see the what was it? The Double Dutch competition. So that was cool
fun too. That was fun too.
We left after that because it was fucking almost 10 o'clock almost. But then come to find out, I'm assuming we were there when this happened because we left almost before DreamCon ended.
Yeah.
Saturday was a longer day for us.
Yeah.
DDG was in the vendor area, which at that time we were there in the morning.
Right.
And then we ended up going in after him before the dodgeball. Right. We didn't see him. He was there, and then here comes him and his brother, and someone called him doo-doo garbage.
Yeah.
And he felt the need to
basically give him his brother the okay to go jump the guy. And it was
you
on
filming
stream.
It. Yeah, stupid.
You're
it's
an idiot.
So dumb. And I'm gonna say this community was love. It felt like Dairy family. You know, I'm new to this. I'm not true to this.
Yeah.
And I have to say one thing I've always noticed in my life about the nerds, the con people, especially the men, they're just so much of gentlemen. Oh, do you want to see? Oh, excuse me. It was on. Excuse me. Oh,
no issues.
This nigga dap me up oh, you Tina from Bob Burger, and dap me up like I was a whole nigga. There's already love in the black community with each other, but in a con community,
it's different.
Oh my god, it's just love there. Yeah. So I was like, you're the problem, not them. Yes, people are gonna be like, dude, you know why he said it? Because you dead wrong for putting your hands on a woman, let alone a black woman.
And your music trash.
So they're saying it because there's gentlemen there's real gentlemen in this damn universe, in the con universe.
Yeah.
So I feel like they were rightful to I'm gonna say something to you.
That's fair.
And I think what he did was you're the problem.
Yeah, he was.
Don't bring that shit to DreamCon. Don't come to DreamCon next year. You know what I'm saying?
When it came to day 3, we had more security there now and more police there. Oh yeah,
it was.
And they were checking more and more. Yes.
Oh, okay.
And they were checking more and more people's bags and things. Because day 3 was the only day my bag got checked.
Day 2, they were come through. I was like, hold on.
That meme of that guy going like that.
Yeah, it was like, go. Day 3 was cool too. We did not get to see Dante was doing a Q&A.
And
he was there, but the line was long as hell.
Yeah.
So we was like, I love you, Dante, but we're not gonna see you.
That line was almost like the ticket line.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
I have to say this. This was a smaller panel, but very informative. It was the gaming finance.
Yeah, finances and
that
gaming.
Was so good.
Yeah, I
learned a lot. So shout out to that panelist for conducting that class, because that was a great class just about the gaming industry, where we're at right now, where do they see the gaming industry, jobs and things like that. So I learned a lot from that.
Yeah.
From that class.
And I enjoyed that class.
After that, we decided to.
I think the biggest one of the night, right?
The biggest was like I said, I'm a fan of Cleo Thomas, and I know about his brothers and his sister starting to stream on Twitch and all that and gaming, and they were having their own panel game night for the 4 controllers. Yeah. That was probably what made the end of DreamCon. Oh my gosh, shout out to Cleo Thomas and your brothers and your sister. That probably was one of my favorite things to do in con, was to see them play Smash Brothers.
Yeah, the gaming
or Smash Bros.
It's Smash Brothers. You can
say I'm just I'm trying to.
You're getting there. Look at you learning.
Look at me. Look at the formative. But
it was the feeling of a genuine gaming competition
It
in
was
the
like your
room,
family. Like you about to
and
go play with your brothers and
but
your
that's what they
sisters.
always feel
Yeah.
like, even no matter how massive they are. That's because we're here for the Smash
Oh my
Bros.
God, they were the
And
best.
everybody loves that game, and it was so much fun,
So
so
much fun.
entertaining. And again, it felt like one of those moments. It's funny how the communities make the whole con better, not just the panels of the show or the celebrities. It's really the community
It
because
is. It's the audience that makes it. Team
exactly,
Yellow, just shouting out to Team Yellow. But
yeah,
they did their thing. And then Patrick Cloud was there. Oh my God, I'm such a fan. And
yeah.
we were second row. You know we could have been first, but I be trying to be modest.
Incognito, you be
Oh
modest and
my God, because
incognito
I
and
just don't want
shit.
any attention on me because I can bring attention. But I was like, I could have been sitting next to Patrick Cloud, but I wasn't.
Yeah,
But to see him 10 feet away
yeah.
and
Commentating and not having any idea what's going on. It was
the
so
best.
good. It felt like a live ADD type of project
Yeah.
that I got to experience. And if you're an ADD fan, an all deaf digital fan, then y'all
Hmm.
know what that feel like. That was
It was, yeah, it
amazing.
wasn't different. It
Nah,
definitely was like me watching him on TV. Like it was the
exactly,
same dude.
exactly. It was so much
They
fun.
were all great. It was great to see Cleo's family and his mom,
Yeah,
and just I think he was really excited to see like no people filled up this room.
people fuck with you.
They
People
didn't give
fuck
him
with
a
y'all.
crazy big room.
Nah,
That just proves that he needs a
it was
bigger room.
flowing outside of it. People were outside
People
the
are
doorway
watching it.
trying
Come
to
on
watch it.
now,
So
come on now.
yeah, that was
I think
fun.
they're gonna go back next year, but RDC World did announce that they're doing DreamCon again in Houston in the second week of July. Oh my, why y'all want to do it in
It's gonna be
July?
hot that time too. That's gonna
Oh,
suck,
because
but
you have to walk. You're walking back and forth. That's a lot. We were perspirating
yeah,
as we were walking.
perspirating.
Edges was gone.
Yeah, but
So
I
I'm like,
mean,
July, really, my nigga? Like, god damn.
yeah, but I mean, ultimately though,
I
one
don't
of the
know
better
yet.
con experiences I think I've ever had. One
I've
of the
only had
blackest
two.
experiences I've ever had. I loved every
It was the
single minute
best.
of it. Seeing a sea of us and enjoying the things that I've loved all my life, video games and anime and all this other nerdy shit, you know what I'm saying? And it not being cool back then, but seeing it being fully celebrated now by all of us, man, that was amazing.
Oh my god! If that was anybody's first experience with DreamCon or a con in general, like I hope it met your expectations because it
Yeah,
did for me.
it did.
Like for my first time going to DreamCon and
Yeah,
my second time going to a con, I was like, this is amazing.
yeah.
I definitely want to go back. I'm just weary about the dates and
The
like, why
weather.
can't you come to Vegas? Like, come on, we got a big
One
ass
day,
convention center.
somebody gonna hit up Vegas real cool, a nice con, and we gonna have a good time too.
Okay, before we go, what was the best like costumes you saw?
Oh, I did eventually see that clicker girl.
Okay, you did
The
see it.
clicker was, I
Okay.
think, the most realistic thing I've seen. I really did like there was a Golding that was sitting next to me, and she was a mythical fish Pokemon
Okay.
that was sitting next to me. That was dope. I
I
saw
saw a
a
handmaid.
that's
Yeah,
wild.
from Handmaid's Tale.
That's
I said,
wild.
you know what? I did not know that people are so creative. Sometimes I think they're just dressing up in the anime world,
Yeah.
but of course I'm learning.
Mm.
And I saw cornbread from Sinners.
Yeah.
What the hell? Like everybody's so creative. It don't have to be in the anime, just in the
No,
anime
you
world.
come
And
as
I
you
just thought
are.
that.
If you are a
And
nerd and you love something, you come
the
as you are.
handmaid.
Yeah, that's
I
crazy.
saw East Compton Clovers. I gave
Hmm.
my outfit away,
I
so
think
I
the
don't have that.
best one though is the tails we saw that was sitting on the
That was
couch.
that was impressive.
She was dope. She was dope.
I feel like you can be frugal when it comes to and definitely DIY a lot of your costume, but people are putting their money, time, and effort into this. I'm like, I kept saying, how are they getting that through the airport? How unless people are
The
driving? But
people
I
are
was like,
doing
jeez,
bags. They have it in
or
bags.
sending
They
it,
buy rifle bags to put their costumes and stuff. There's
probably
like a
sending it
whole.
ahead sometimes too, depending
Sometimes,
it. Oh
sometimes,
my goodness,
but other times, you just it's what you dedicate and what you love. And if you love something that much, why not dress up as it, right?
oh, it's the best.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we're gonna do some more. We're
Oh my
gonna do
god!
it
If you
again.
guys haven't been to a con or dream con, I would suggest. And it wasn't. It was like $100 for the 3 days. So before they start really upping them prices,
Yeah.
I think everybody, especially in the black community, you guys should definitely experience DreamCon for yourself. Like
Yeah.
they ain't giving me no money for this. They should for promoting, but I had the best fucking
It was
time
a great
in
time.
Houston.
It was a great time.
Is there any last words of wisdom before we head out for the weekend?
Figure out that line situation next year. We gonna be there.
Okay. Oh, and happy Pride Month, everybody.
Happy
And
Pride
it
Month.
is my birthday month. So if you guys want to definitely send me some money, I'll link my Cash App in the description. And remember, you guys, we do drop our new episodes every Friday on all streaming platforms. We'll definitely make sure we try to stay consistent. But, we have so much stuff going on this month. So
This shit
we do
takes time, man.
apologize. Also, we are on YouTube on Sundays at Ideally Though Pod. So like, subscribe, hit the bell button.
Share them shits.
And we're going to catch you guys next week. Bye.
Yeah.